Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel Wakeupbright, where I share all the things that help me live each day a little brighter. I'm April Lauren and I'm on a journey to lose 200 pounds in a way that I can healthily sustain. This is just a vlog and I'm going to do 1 mile for time, and right now I'm walking my pups. Then I've got to go hopefully pick up some cold weather gear. Right now it doesn't feel that bad. It's in the 30s. It feels quite nice actually. We've definitely lived in a lot colder areas, but here it has felt so cold. I need something for my nose, for my mouth, and so we're gonna go to Dick's and just see what I can find. But most importantly, we are doing 1 mile for time, and this will be my last 1 mile for time of 2022.
I have really just been enjoying time with my husband, with my pups, and then we did take the trip down to South Alabama, so I do still have the final Vlogmas video. It's just like 40 something minutes long and I keep trying to shorten it. So there's that. I cannot believe it's already the end of 2022 and I'm quite relieved, honestly. It has been a rough year, and I am so happy to be at a place where I am able to maintain my level of health and maybe even improve other things while maintaining the weight that I've lost. I have not gained weight back. I know I haven't been posting, and I've had a few people reach out. They were concerned that maybe I had gained weight and that's why I haven't been posting. That is not the case. That is not the case at all. I just prioritize time with my family, and I always prioritize my health, my mental health, my physical health over anything else that I am doing, including YouTube. And taking a step back and just enjoying the time with my family has been so wonderful.
I really hate being wrong. But before I left the house, my husband and I had a stupid argument. It's like, where are you walking the pups to? Just so he knows about where I'm gonna be. And I'm like, to the pond with the ducks. And he's like, to the pond with the ducks? And I'm like, yeah, by the community college. And he's like, you mean the geese? And I'm like, no, the ducks. And he's like, they're geese. And I'm like, no, they're ducks. But now I'm here looking at them and I'm pretty sure they're geese. They're probably geese, right? I'm gonna have to Google this when I get home. Yeah. I'm going to interrupt our walk to share a little about Ritual. Thanks Ritual for sponsoring this video today. Ritual has been my go-to multivitamin for about the last year. I have a new product, Symbiotic Plus. Symbiotic Plus is a prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic all wrapped up into one easy to swallow pill. Let's talk a little bit about how Symbiotic Plus is more than a probiotic. Prebiotics support growth and activity of beneficial bacteria living in the gut, while probiotics are live microorganisms that are included to relieve bloating, gas, and sometimes diarrhea. The postbiotic provides fuel to the cells that make up the gut lining and supports gut barrier function. Ritual uses 2 of the world's most clinically studied strains of probiotics with 11 billion CFUs for digestive support. The single nested minty capsule not only allows for all 3 in one, but it also is a delayed release capsule designed to help it reach the colon, which is an ideal place for probiotics to survive and grow, or rather, Symbiotic Plus is designed to thrive. No refrigeration is needed with the moisture-controlled bottle technology designed to protect the probiotic strains. Symbiotic Plus is made traceable, meaning Ritual shows you every labeled ingredient, supplier, and key studies that go into their vegan-friendly products. Transparency is the core at everything Ritual does, from the way the nutrients are sourced to the environmental impact of the materials used to ship thousands of orders. Just like all Ritual's products, Symbiotic Plus boast a clean formula that's vegan-friendly, formulated without GMOs, major allergens, animal products, or artificial colors. Ritual is a subscription delivered to your door, so it's very convenient, monthly with free shipping. Ritual wants you to start the year off on the right foot. with products that you can trust, that are science-backed and traceable. Get 30% off of your first month with Ritual by going to ritual.com/April30. Again, that is ritual.com/April30 and using code April30. Let me know in the comments down below if you place an order or if you've ordered with them in the past. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next clip. I'm headed to Target, and then I'm not going in Target. I placed a pickup order, and then to the sporting goods store.
I really wanted to get a mask for my face for this cold weather, but got to Dick's. There was like emergency situation going on, so I did not go in.
It is the next day. I have like a full-on cold. It's a little fun time, but we're doing this mile. I don't know how, like, it came on really fast, so I don't know how it came on so quick, but like, I was fine. I was completely fine, and then when it was bedtime, all of a sudden I couldn't breathe, and then it just got worse. By breathe, I just mean like my nose was stopped. I don't think the cold will affect it at all, like my cold, and the cold may or may not affect it. I don't know. Alright, so we're doing 1 mile per time.
In silence, with blindness, through darkness, I walk with you. When time's up, when they find us, I promise I'll be with you. I signed up, and I've made, I ponder, I'll stay with you.
I struggled with what I wanted to end this year on, how I wanted to close out this year of my channel, and I thought doing a mile for time would be really good for that. It is unfortunate that I got a cold because I didn't feel like I was my strongest. However, I am really proud of this mile for time. And I think even that is fitting because I didn't feel my strongest for this mile for time. I haven't really felt my strongest in a lot of ways for this year, and yet I still recognize so much growth. I know that I am stronger. And really all of my physical changes, my mental changes even more so, and just the strength that I've developed both emotionally, mentally, physically, even spiritually over this last year. It's been a rough one, and I've made it to the other side of the year. I started really strong, and my body-wise, I felt really good, but it was really hard to breathe. My breathing typically is through my nose, and then I may do some breathing that's like in my nose and out of my mouth, but I always try to maintain that breath, and it was not possible. And I started off running way harder than usual, and then I noticed that one of my shoelaces had come undone, and I just felt so defeated. And then I kept like walking, and I was like, okay, am I gonna tie it or not? And then finally I just threw on my gloves, tied my shoe, and then got back to it. But that kind of put a little bit of a damper on my whole mile, and that's something definitely for me to work on, not letting little things overwhelm or bog me down. And that's more than just within this mile, or even just with my weight loss, which it happens in both cases, but also just within life, like not letting the little things have power that they don't deserve or need, and letting those things go. That is something for me to definitely work on. So I switched to a Garmin from my Apple Watch, and a cool feature that it does is it breaks down exactly how much time I spent walking, and how much time I spent not moving, and how much time I spent running. And I only spent 3 minutes walking. So I feel like that I wish I had that data from my last mile for time, because my last mile for time I was not sick. I felt super strong, And this time I don't feel as strong, but I know that I'm so much stronger because I know that I've ran more, and that just makes me really happy.
All my life I've barely spoken. Your words have been so broken. I've been under your hypnosis. Why did I sip that potion? I'm so done with holy ghosting. My birth, it is an omen. Lay me down up in the ocean until you see no motion. Right now I can barely focus. I'm showing no emotion. On your knees, show your devotion. My skin is black but golden. I'm not here for bragging, boasting. Ain't lying, I've been chosen. Mind is burning, heart's exploding. This is my magnum opus. Are you with me now? Said, are you with me now? Ain't felt this good in a while. They want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now? Am I going in and out? I stop and just look around to see if you're with me now. Tell me, are you with me now? Ready to put it down.
Little things are always going to happen. They're always going to pop up and get in our way, and that's just life. But also there are things that we can do to prevent those things. Like I could have double checked my shoelaces. I even had that thought before I started running. I was like, I should check my shoelaces. And I just had like this a little bit of anxiety about, am I going to have enough light to finish this? How well am I going to do? And I let those thoughts stop me from slowing down and controlling the things that I could control. So that is definitely something else for me to work on, controlling the controllable and working towards not wasting energy and time on those overwhelming feelings or feelings of anxiety. And those feelings of anxiety are going to come. That's life too. Like little things are going to happen. We're going to have anxiety about things. And then just figuring out what are the controllables, what can I control in these situations. And in this one, simple. Check your shoes.
I feel it coming now. It's too late to shut it down. Over the mountain now, burning the valley down. I don't know where my mind is. Don't even know what time is. Somebody stop the virus. Room full of bodies, but nothing but silence. Yeah, I'm quiet, but all that shyness. Go crazy, turn this bitch into an asylum. You fly, but we ain't looking for pilots. I never bow down to a tyrant, His Highness. Even Jack said, all them giants. What goes up comes down, man, that's basic science. Look at my iris and you'll see the fines. I'd rather not get involved with you. What's the problem, man? I'll solve all you sign. How you find when your time up? How you climb when your line stuck? Barbershop getting lined up. Yeah, your hair good, but your mind super clear. Uber everywhere. This sound like Superman is here. Are you with me now? Said, are you with me now? Ain't felt this good in a while. They want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now? Am I going in and out? I stop and just look around to see if you with me now. Tell me, are you with me now? Ready to put it down. Start at the bottom, already forgot it, but they won't forgive me now. You really ain't ready now. You haters just in the crowd, but still I just look around. Are you with me now? Where you with me now?
I feel like I always share that I get anxiety about running in public and doing things like that. Typically it's because there's the camera, and the camera's like that's something unusual, like that you don't typically see. But I love that even with the camera or without that, by showing up for myself and doing things, physical things in public, people always encourage me along. And it's not just me, it's not just because I'm overweight that they're doing that. People just encourage other people when they are out there pushing themselves. I see it at athletic events, I see it amongst kids, I see it now more so amongst adults, and it's really awesome. I loved that at the end. So I did my first mile, which was my mile for time, and then I had another mile on the schedule. And as I was finishing up that second mile, I ran across a guy that I had seen. We had crossed paths when I did the first mile, and he like encouraged me, and he was like, "Great job," and that made me happy. So I like smiled, and as he got closer, he like put out his hand and gave me a high five, and it just made my day. It made me really happy. And I'm grateful for people like that. I'm grateful for my husband, and I'm grateful for y'all. Thanks for encouraging me along my way. By the end of this mile for time, I was really frustrated with myself. I was frustrated that I kept looking at my watch. At one point, my husband asked me why I kept looking at the watch, and I realized that when I looked at the watch, I wasn't even like looking at it. I was just like lifting it up, and like, I don't know if it was like a nervous tick that I started doing or what, but I was so inside my head at the end that I was just wasting so much time, and I kept walking even when I didn't exactly need a walking break, and that frustrated me about myself that I just kept doing it. And then I got to that last little bit, and And my same shoe came untied again. I was so angry. And I think it's important when we do feel those feelings of anger or frustration towards ourselves or to others to take a step back and to maybe not make decisions, at least for me. Like, I need to not make decisions in that. Or I've already made the decision. Like, I've already made the decision that my safety, my health is more and most important. And so I should have stopped and tied my shoe regardless. And I didn't. And I got very lucky that I didn't get injured. But in the future, I hope that, one, I check and make sure my shoes are tied right. And two, if there's any sort of safety issue, that I always stop and fix it so that I can continue forward safely and get to where I'm going in the most healthy way that I can.
.14.03, I think.
What was that, record?
What?
That record? What was your last one?
14.14. Considering I can't breathe, I will take it.
I don't know. I think you kept looking at your watch. You didn't tie your shoes right.
I didn't do any running before. I always run my second mile fastest.
You did good.
If I get to a point where I can breathe out of my nose in the next week or so, then I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna try and do 3 miles per time, and I was planning on doing that tomorrow, but I'm gonna hold off because I was breathing so hard because my nose just stopped up. Oh, and there's my husband. I'm really disappointed that I wasn't faster. Had to tie my shoes. You okay? Had to tie my shoes, and there were people, which always makes me anxious. So just gotta get over that. It's good practice. Good practice for races and things.
I want to thank my husband, not just for filming this video, but for all of his support and encouragement over the last year. He always champions for me and pushes me and helps me do better, and I'm so grateful. And he even rode his longboard this time so the footage would be smoother for y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I do want to share the results really quick. I'm new to the Garmin. I probably should have just done this on the iWatch, on my Apple Watch, but my average pace, it says, was 14:05, so I just did over a mile. But when it popped up on my screen, it said 14:03 on my watch as I was ending that mile. So that's what I had there. And then I do like that it breaks down so much more than the Apple Watch does. So I've got my average speed, my average moving speed, my max speed. I don't really know what the difference is in between all of those, honestly. But it's got my total. So before I turned off the watch was 14:09 is what I clocked. And then my moving time was 13 minutes and 50 seconds. My elapsed time was 14:09. So that was the time it took me to stop the watch and the time it took me to tie my shoe, is what that 14 was. And any step I took beyond a mile was also included in that. And then my run time was 10 minutes and 54 seconds. My walk time was 3 minutes and 6 seconds. So I know that that's a really good improvement for me. Now I can run a mile. I can run longer than a mile, but my pace is typically a lot slower. I don't push into a harder zone for myself when I'm running. I just usually take it easy. So I love running. I love what it does for me. I also love pushing myself, and sometimes that means restraining my desire to do things like run as fast as I can all of the time. But I definitely think that's made running more enjoyable for me. And as this is my last video of 2022, I just want to encourage you to lean into what you need. Lean into that internal voice that you have that tells you and guides you, that tells you what you should be doing, what you're not doing enough of, or what you could. You're being honest with yourself and not hateful towards yourself, just honest. Like, what can you do? What can you do better? And maybe just strive to live each day a little bit better, a little bit brighter than you did the day before, and that progress will compound over time. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you and your encouragement, your kind words, your presence, just being here with me as I share my journey. It means so much. And I hope that 2023 is your best year yet. I'll see you next time.